Hello and Happy New Year to everyone. I wanted to make another video after my somewhat depressing last video and follow up on making something a little bit more lighthearted. So I was really inspired by the Pantone color of the year, which if you didn't know was Mocha Mousse, or is Mocha Mousse, and it is a nice sort of mid-tone brown. And yeah, I think that I have a lot of brown to work with, so I really wanted to take this as an opportunity to reflect on 2024, but also kind of look ahead to 2025 and just kind of state some of my future goals for my own personal records, basically. So I don't necessarily have the skills to make my own mocha mousse, so instead I decided to make some mocha chocolate flavored whipped cream and turn it into an espresso con panna. And it came out really delicious, and I think that it matches the color of the year really well. So grab yourself a coffee as well, or tea or water, whatever suits you, and let's get into it. So I'm going to be starting with just some primers. I will probably list everything down in the description anyway. I'm not here to peddle any products. I'm just here to be inspired and just share a fun little look I decided to put together based on the color of the year. So I'm just starting off with some basic face and eye primer. My eye primer is actually the anti-aging version of the Urban Decay Primer Potion. I really just like that one because it seems to be a little bit less drying than the original, but whatever eye primer. If you don't even like eye primer, it's really not necessary, but I have hooded and oily lids, so I'm always using an eye primer, and I really like using color most of the time, which is not very apparent in this video today, but I usually like wearing bright colors and sparkly, crazy eyeshadows and eyeliners, so I always like to have just a smooth canvas that's going to last all day, because my eyelids will definitely absorb every single piece of eyeshadow. And for my eyebrows, I do my eyebrows the same way every single day. Even when I'm not wearing any other makeup, I always do my brows. And I just use a mixture of different colors in the All Done Up palette by Blend Bunny. I use a mixture of like the black and brown, the gray, the lighter brown, and just kind of mix around depending on what I'm feeling for that day. But yeah, I think brows are really personal anyway, so however you want to go about that, if you want to follow along or get inspired from this makeup look, then yeah, however you usually do your brows will work perfectly fine. So looking back at 2024 a little bit while I'm doing my brows here, I finally got around to reading some pretty transformational books and just doing things to really move myself forward in my art and in my space, and just the post-military life that I kind of alluded to in my last video. Now that I am completely sober, it's just like now what's next in the world for me is kind of what was on my mind. And yeah, so over the summertime, I ended up reading The Artist's Way, and I did not expect that it was going to be as transformational as it ended up being. I have been making art forever, first of all, but especially after coming home from being in Texas as a military wife, it was very hard for me to reconnect with my art here in South Carolina. And I basically just needed a complete reset. And I definitely think that The Artist's Way gave me the permission and the compassion to be able to get back into my art practice again and to just be creative in as many ways as possible, and to do things that really inspire me and fill the well. And that really, that little midway point through the year really just jump started all of the rest of the transformation that happened throughout the year. And it just really created the foundation that I needed to basically just start over and find my new identity for how I'm going to lead my life, at least for the next little bit. And for my makeup here, I did use some under eye concealer, which is actually not something I really like to do. I really like the whole trend that's going around now where people are just letting their dark circles show. But for this look in particular, which strangely, even though it's a neutral look, is a little bit out of my comfort zone, it's not usually what I do, I wanted to have a little bit more of a solid base because the eyeshadow that I'm doing is pretty smoky, and I do a lot of under eye shading, and which is also something I don't normally do. So I didn't want the browns from the Mocha to compete with the bluey, greeny under eye color. And now I'm just going in with some foundation and yeah, just getting the base ready. Nothing special. And then I'm just going into this Huda Beauty blush filter or whatever it's called. I actually do not like cream blush, but I kind of got a little bit of FOMO when it came to this one. Everybody was saying it was amazing and that it is like super smooth, but I don't know. I don't even like blush, period, most of the time. Yeah, it's fine. Like, as you can see, it's fine. I'm just very picky about blush. I don't like my cheeks. I don't like blush. I especially don't like cream blush, so. But I felt like this color was perfect for the look, and in general, I think in the wintertime, I usually don't even wear any bronzer or any blush anyway, so I think it was just kind of shocking this January to be so toasty and warm, but in a way, I think that's a cool, fun look for the wintertime anyway, instead of always going for blacks and blues and silvery colors, even though that's kind of what I've been into. But yeah, so I just kind of went in here and blurted out with a sponge, and yeah. So during the fall time of last year, after The Artist's Way, another book that had been on my list for a really long time was the Marie Kondo book, and I pretty much read it in one afternoon. I didn't expect to be so interested in it, but I feel like it was really needed. And so after the summer of The Artist's Way, I spent the fall time really just unpacking the rest of the stuff for the house that we're in and creating a new studio space. That way I can make art more comfortably, which is where you see me here now. This is kind of the result of the condo process, and I really love it. Like, I'm really grateful to have a space to do my morning pages and paint or, edit or do whatever I need to do to stay inspired. So I'm going in here with my bronzer, and it's just an old bronzer. Becca, as some of you know if you like makeup, isn't even in business anymore. I think that the pandemic ended up taking them out, but just like the powder, everybody's got a bronzer, so nothing special. I chose this one because it's kind of a little bit more warmer tone. It's a little bit more on the like red side, which is kind of the vibe that I get from Mocha Mousse. Like, I feel like it just has a little bit more of a pinkier, warmer tone to it. And yeah, the other bronzers I have are a little bit more olive because they match my skin tone, especially in the summertime. But yeah, just whatever toasty, yummy bronzer. It's kind of interesting, like I said, using a bronzer in the wintertime, but it's kind of nice at the same time to remember what it's like to have any sort of color in your skin. So yeah, after the condo, I basically felt like I could start my life as a working artist. And it's been really nice so far. And really, I think that this year, going into 2025, since there was so much that was already done last year, that all the transformational groundwork was already done. So I feel like now going into this year, I'm just ready to expand and build and just utilize the new space that I've created for myself and just be a little bit more productive. So now I'm using this Kaleidos contour trio thing, and it's really good. I really like all of them. There's like a contour shade in the middle and more of a bronzer on the other side. And yeah, I'm just kind of bringing some shape back into my face now that I have covered it in foundation. So it's nice to have some shadow and light work to just kind of make things look normal again. But whatever you have works. Contour and highlight and foundation and concealer to your heart's desire. I feel like those are the things that are the most unique to each person, so not really very exciting. So now I'm going into this highlighty shade, and I actually feel like after already powdering, I maybe over powdered a little bit. I ended up being a bit dry. It is winter after all, but it's nice anyway. Like I said, I really wanted to have a more blank base underneath my eyes. That way the eyeshadow and eyeliner that I'm going to blend down there doesn't compete. So yeah, I think that my goals looking forward are mostly based on just continuing what I started last year. So I'm really looking forward to making more art and actually making more videos because I've always been a photographer. I fell in love with photography on my 18th birthday when I got my first camera, and I took it with me to a choir trip in New York City, and I still have all those pictures and love them so much. And so now that I have my camera now, I have been taking tons and tons of pictures, but it's kind of exciting to expand and explore and build on what I was doing with my photography and just trying to have fun with doing some videography as well. I don't know what I'm doing at all. I don't know if that's totally obvious, but it's not that serious anyway. It's like nice to just experiment and have fun and share with other people. So for my lip color, which this was the first thing that came to mind, I have this MAC lipstick thing. I think it's their Powder Kiss Slim or something like that in the color Spice World. To me, this was, I have tons and tons of brown like lipsticks of all different textures. I love brown lipstick. It's like a guilty pleasure, but this one felt very Mocha Mousse to me, especially because it's a little bit lighter. Like, I know that mocha is like chocolate and espresso, but I feel like the moussiness with the cream is, pulling it a little bit lighter. And so I was really excited to use this. And it also smells like chocolate. So with this eyeliner, I'm going to do all of my like foundational work with this. I think I saw on Nikki LaRose, she was the one, I watched her Mocha Mousse video earlier. I think she posted hers like way closer to the beginning of the year. I think it was her video where she did a lot of foundational work with her eyeliner. And I really like this one. It's obviously, I don't know if you can tell from how close up it is, but it's very small and very well sharpened. Because I really love this one. It's not super dark, and I like that though. I have some really dark browns, but this one's nice because, like I said, it just has a little bit more of a creamier, sort of whipped, cloudy looking vibe to it. And it'll create a nice base for the eyeshadows that are going to go on top. They'll really stick down if you start with your eyeliner first, and it just helps to keep the look going all day. So I'm also just going in here and fluffing that out and blending it out. So yeah, my goal for the year is to try and make as many videos as possible, but my goal is to try and get maybe one posted each month. I'm just going in with a little bit more eyeliner to re-deepen where I blended that out. But yeah, I think that at this point in time, after doing the artist way and making more art and experimenting, I think that another primary goal for me this year is to get a little bit more used to sharing art, because art is meant to be shared anyway. And even if, this isn't necessarily like traditional art, but it is just creating, and I just want to have a little bit more connection with people and sort of rebuild my social net now that I am home and I'm feeling a lot more confident and comfortable and stable. So this is a part of that. I'm very excited to be going ahead and marking off one of the videos for the year now that this is going to be posted. So now I'm just going in on the lower lash line, and yeah, I usually don't go in this hard on the lower lash line. I feel like my eyes can get a little bit droopy, but I don't know. Like I said, I wanted to try something different. It is the new year, and it's just fun to try and use things in a new way. That's another thing, is I really am ready to go on like a low buy, no buy when it comes to all things beauty, and just really spend a lot of time with my makeup and even my perfume and jewelry and fashion and clothes and everything. I really want to spend more time just really getting wear out of stuff and almost building a sense of camaraderie with the items, which is also something that reminds me of the condo book. So I'm going in now with a little bit of eyeshadow. I'm starting off with this Avatar palette. It's so pretty. This is the fire one. I'm using this Imperial City color up here. And yeah, it's nice and warm, but I'm going to use some other shadows that are a little bit more on that pinkier tone. But this is just a nice one to blend like almost all the way up to the brow bone, just to get some of that base color down. But yeah, I remember from the Kondo book, Marie Kondo talks about how she almost sort of creates a relationship with the home and with each item in a way. She kind of personifies and humanizes these items that we connect with. And I really think that that's something that I'm really looking forward to, is just showing some gratitude and showing some love to what I already have, and kind of putting some distance between me and consumerism. It's, better for the wallet, but also for the planet. And I think there's, plenty of ways to have fun and be creative, especially with makeup, and a lot of diversity with everything that you can do. I'm just going in with that color right on the lower lash line with a big old fluffy brush. Like I was saying, I was going to bring that down really low. And I'm going to build up the depth with some darker colors. later, but this is gonna be something nice, especially after having, you know, all that concealer and the primer and the liner. It's nice to have something to kind of blend into. So now I'm going into this Divination palette from Blend Bunny as well. As you can tell, I really love Blend Bunny. So here we go. This is like, to me, like the color of Mocha Mousse, like in the picture that they have for it. Like, this is just the color that I imagined. So I'm just kind of going in right here on the outer corner with the same brush. I think I've been using the same brush pretty much like the whole time. But it's nice and big and fluffy, and I think it's just like an Eco Tools brush, and it has sort of a flatter top. I really like those because they really place the shadow down good. And then, yeah, if you could just kind of swirl in there, it's like really nice. But yeah, I think that I'm really looking forward to just being stable when it comes to my place and the things that I own, and really when it comes to having new things this year, I'd like to focus on maybe getting more involved and doing some community service, maybe doing some like river cleanup. We live near like a river here in South Carolina, and I'm thinking about going and doing some, or just some litter cleanup and stuff like that, just to kind of give back and spend my time socializing and connecting with people, especially nowadays in this world of division, especially in the online space. Like, I think it is best for people to stay connected and the things that really matter, and not get lost in the chaos along the way. So yeah, I think that'll be some of my goals for the year, looking forward. I'm actually reading the second book that comes after The Artist's Way right now. It's called Walking in This World, and it's by Julia Cameron as well. And I guess that's another goal. I've already been working on that book. I started reading it in the fall time and took a little bit of a break during the condo season, but I've been reading it for a little bit now. I think I just started week 8, which is a sense of momentum. Here I am going with that darker color and with a tinier little blending brush because I want to keep this more focused on the outer corner. But yeah, the walking in this world has been really nice too, like especially to stay active and have an excuse to get out of the house and reconnect with nature, because yeah, it's nice to just decompress and not constantly be filling my brain with consumption of media. Not really someone who really struggles with like social media or anything like that. I'm actually pretty afraid of my phone and I avoid it most of the time, but still it's easy to like just play too many video games or just be too cerebral and in your head. And so it's nice to just kind of like trickle that energy back down into the body and yeah, reconnect and get outside. So now I'm going back in with that Imperial City, and I think now I'm taking it even, closer up to the brow bone, just to make this really smoky. I mean, this look, as you can tell, is sort of just like a traditional brown smoky eye. But it's been quite a while since I've done that. Like, it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to see myself in this new way. Now I'm going in with the Air palette from that. It's the Avatar and Lethal Cosmetics. I'm not sure if they still sell that, but I'm just going in here with this like creamy tone just to cover up this lid a little bit. And yeah, like I said, the Mocha Mousse really reminds me of like the creamy whipped cream vibes. And yeah, it also just has like a matte sensation to it. Like if you look at pictures of mousse in general, it's not too shiny. It's more of like a softened, like a soft marshmallowy looking, powdery looking texture. Even though I also don't ever really do that either. Like, I usually don't have super matte eyes. So it's kind of a little bit dusty, but that's why I'm going to go in here. Oh, here I have an example of what I usually go for, which is much more sparkly and much more colorful, a lot more sharp, and I just could not resist. So I am just throwing a little bit of the sparkly shade from that Fire palette on the inner corner and on the brow bone. If you're someone who likes matte though, you could probably just stick with that cream color, but I don't know, I couldn't. I was looking a little bit too dusty for my liking. And to continue to remedy that, here I have my Charlotte Tilbury my setting spray to just kind of rehydrate a little bit. It's not very dewy. It's not like a glossy setting spray, but it's just kind of enough to rehydrate this dry winter skin I got going on. So now I'm going in with a little bit more brow. I'm doing a little brow mascara actually. I've been doing a lot of powders, like the bronzer and the face powder and even the powder eyeshadow. It's like kind of flies up and gets in my eyebrow, so I had to go in and kind of darken it again. And now I'm going in with a whole heckin' lot of mascara just to have that depth and fluffiness. If you have lighter hair or you're maybe blonde or something like that, then a brow mascara would work really good too. I know that's been, you know, something that's really trendy lately. But I need black mascara. I have very dark hair, obviously, so I mean, I would like to try brown mascara, but I'm using a black one. Evil thing. I don't even know if I ended up removing that later, but it's easy to remove. Just wait for it to dry and just flick it away with a little brush or a Q-tip. No big deal. And yeah, just making sure I get some on the top and the bottom, kind of going for a more rounded and smoky look. And yeah, this is pretty much the finished look. I ended up going in later with some false lashes, which I also don't really wear, but this look by itself was pretty fine. Me doing a little bit of a dance while I listen to music. Yeah, these are the only lashes I feel like I ever wear. And yeah. So here is my finished look with eyelashes on and everything. It's been a long time since I've worn lashes, so they're a little gluey. And I switched my outfit. Oh, wait, actually, also, here is the perfume that I use. This is a classic. It's the Britney Spears Fantasy, the original, and it has like whipped cream and white chocolate notes, and it's very, very gourmand and very yum. But here's the outfit that I chose. I am a definite outfit repeater, and I have worn this quite a few times. I think I wore it to like a Valentine's Day date. I know I wore it to my 10-year high school reunion, but it was just perfect for this, especially the satin has that sort of softened, moussey kind of texture with that white cream. I just love the way it looks, and I felt like it was perfect for the look. And I got my combat boots that I wear for everything from hiking to gardening to, yeah, having a actual nice dressed up outfit. And my usual Kate Spade bag. I think I got it from Rent the Runway. You can like buy, I haven't gotten Rent the Runway for quite some time, but you can buy the pieces that you rent at like a discounted price. And yeah, I have my necklaces. I have my little sun necklace and my star necklace, my astrology pieces. And here's a little bit of a close-up. The look, nice and smoky. I had to add that sparkle. I really think it saved the look. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the new year and everything that it has in store. And yeah, let me know what your plans are for the new year, and if you're continuing on from last year, or if you have any shifts that you want to make. The world's changing a lot, so yeah, everybody take care and be safe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!